Welcome back. We did go to Leavenworth around Christmas time last year, and as promised, I did vlog this time. We did stay at the Bavarian Lodge again, which was absolutely beautiful. The hotel is amazing, and the views around it are just incredible, especially when that mountain shows during the day. We did run into a little problem this time. Our flight from Austin to Seattle was fine, but the Seattle flight to Wenatchee was first delayed, and then they eventually canceled it. And so we actually ended up having to drive there. We got an Uber and it cost us $600. They have a bus, a train, and rental cars, but they were all booked. But the views going up there were absolutely gorgeous, so I think next time we're gonna drive from Seattle to Leavenworth anyway, because you can't beat that. The Bavarian Lodge is one of the coziest, most homey hotels you will ever stay at. They have everything you need, from breakfast to movies to hot cocoa, apple cider. You get to decorate your own tree. They have a little teddy bear you can buy. They even also have a little mini store out front in case you need anything. If you travel around Christmas, definitely try and be there on a weekend because Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus come out to say hi. Is it snowing, Bubba? It's snowing. This is very special. This is Front Street on a Saturday. Now, most of my video you're gonna see a Front Street, but Saturday specifically is amazing because there's singing, there's vendors selling food, hot cocoa. It's so fun. A lot of characters come out. There's the Grinch, and then a lot of people line up for Mrs. Claus and Santa Claus. And y'all, this is the best Santa Claus I've ever met. Chestnut. This is in the Fest Hall. They have arts and crafts for kids, and sometimes they have free food. This is the view from Kind House. It's one of the places I recommend eating at. They have excellent food, and then they have fire pits to keep you warm.
Kai. Hi, Kai. Hey, sweetheart, Kai. That's all right.
Another must-see is the gingerbread factory. It is so pretty, and they have the best desserts and the best gingerbread you've ever had in your entire life. On our first day there, we went there way too late and they were sold out of all the gingerbread, but don't worry, we definitely went back multiple times and we stocked up before we left.
Yummy, Bubba.
He'll wake up when we go.
Santa Claus. Did you have any idea?
Sugar, I had no clue. Surprise, surprise.
You know,
This is a snowy hill next to the gazebo that you can sled down. You can buy the sleds pretty much anywhere, but there's a sports store across from the hill, and that's relatively cheap. I want to say we paid $15 for the sled plus the rope.
Who's that, Mama? She almost busted
Her butt.
Hey, Mama, you okay?
Swallowed through like 4 times.
What's your reaction? We did it better, huh? Yep.
Getting groceries in Leavenworth. If you need anything like milk or bread, there's a little store called Dan's Food Market. It's about 10 minutes away from the Bavarian Lodge. We used this place to get desserts as well as to get Benadryl while my son was there because he did end up having an allergic reaction to some medicine he was on. Almost everything you need and everything you're going to do is going to be within walking distance with the exception of a few things. For instance, there's tons to eat. There's so many restaurants within walking distance as well as that little market. There's even a hospital within walking distance, so everything that you're going to need is right there. But they do have some taxis. This is a tree we got to make. This is the one clear day we had the entire time we were there because it snowed the whole time we were there, and those mountain views were insane. They were so beautiful. If you do want to go skiing, there's a few places you can go. There's Leavenworth Ski Hill, Mission Ridge, and then Stevens Pass. There are 2 nice parks within walking distance. There's Blackbird Island Park, which is what this is, and then there's Waterfront Park. The Post Hotel is right next to Blackbird Island Park. I do recommend staying here if you are a couple because they have the most beautiful views. I highly recommend walking through this island, especially if it's not a snowy, because it was kind of hard to do with a stroller. But the last time we went, there was barely any snow and it was so easy and it was so beautiful. You get some really beautiful pictures, especially on the left side of the island. Like this is a view from the island and it is so gorgeous. Almost every restaurant in the area is German food, but Yodeland is so good. They have healthy food. We love the bowls, the chicken bowls, the salmon bowls, the broth. Everything is so good there. So if you need a break from the German food, I highly recommend their salads. Sleds are definitely the best way to get your toddler around town. So much better than a stroller. If you have a smaller child, like my 2-year-old, don't worry, there's a bunch of smaller hills around town. You just gotta look for them. Your visit won't be complete without a stop at the reindeer farm. Make sure you book this in advance. I'm talking the second you book your trip, book the reindeer farm because they do book up real quick. You will need to get a taxi or a rental car to get here because it's not within walking distance, but the views are absolutely beautiful. And then you do get a history of the farm as well as you get to feed the reindeer and they're so cute. Don't forget your hot apple cider as well as going to the gift shop. We have gotten a lot of ornaments there as well as a book for my son. Sadly, we booked the reindeer farm during my son's nap time, so he was not into it, but the reindeer were definitely into him.
Say hi, say hi.
Front Street at night with all the beautiful lights and the sounds, it's so beautiful. There's no way of describing it. Definitely go into all the stores. I definitely recommend going to the Christmas store because that one's really fun as well as the other ones. Food-wise, you cannot beat Munchin House. It's so good. They make bratwurst or Bavarian sausages, and they have like every kind of mustard on the planet, as well as a million other toppings. Ludwig's is my favorite restaurant that's there. That's restaurant style. They have amazing pork chops. You have to try it. It literally tastes like you're eating a ham for Easter. Don't forget your pretzels and beer cheese everywhere you go because they are so good. Clothes-wise, you need to layer up because it is freezing there. I had thermals on all of us and then jeans on top of that. And for shirts, I had a thermal, a sweater, and then our big coats on top of that. I had my son in a 2-piece snowsuit the entire time, and that definitely helped keep him warm. And then I double layered his wool socks. Also, if you can get those little heat packs that you can put in your shoes and your socks, that'll help keep you warm too. We stocked up on gingerbread on the way out. It was so good. Due to all the snowstorms that were happening while we were there, we actually had to drive up to Wenatchee to get a rental car, and then we took that rental car back to Seattle. So definitely watch and be prepared for those flights to be canceled due to snow if you're going to be up there during the winter. There's a few other ways to get there. There's a train that just wasn't operating that day, and then there's also a bus that will take you to the Seattle airport. If you do end up driving though, the views of the mountains are absolutely incredible. It's kind of a scary drive, especially if there's a lot of ice on the road, but it is so beautiful. As always, thanks for watching and like and subscribe for more.